Okay, so here's the final video, follow-up, I guess you will, for my homemade barrel stove without a kit. I burned it all. I didn't get done with this thing until, I didn't go to bed until almost 6 o'clock in the morning. But I filled it up with wood prior to me going to bed and had it running for, I don't know, about an hour and a half or so. And here's the current temperature in the shop. It's not running right now, the stove isn't. So it's sitting at about 45 degrees. I had the thermostat over here on the wall, and with it on this wall radiates a ton of cold air. That door right there is all busted apart. Cold air comes in from there, as well as the non-insulated garage door. So I believe the thermostat itself was struggling to read the temperatures from the wood stove because it's up against a cold wall. But even at that, with this thing running, it was good to bring up that temperature about 15 degrees in here. It was initially reading at 40 degrees, and it brought it up with it on that wall, it brought it up to 55. When I went in and took a shower and came back out here, I was just wearing shorts and a t-shirt and some slippers. It was 27 degrees outside. As soon as I came in, I could tell there was a significant difference in temperature, and even over when I was running this other stove here, which is tiny compared to this. I mean, there was a really, really big difference. So I took the thermostat off the wall and put it here on this shelf. You can see the distance there. Probably talking about 6 feet, 6 feet. It was up to 80 degrees being this close. So 80 degrees here. When I took it and was just standing here next to the stove holding it like this, and it went up to well over 90 and was still climbing. So I just called it a wrap. The radiant heat that comes off this thing is pretty intense. It's really nice, especially in a shop this big. I don't think, outside of putting a heat exchanger on here and blowing the radiant heat around the room, I don't think there's going to be a better option for me in this shop, as far as cost and efficiency is concerned. If I do some insulating in here, I think it'll warm it up really, really good in here. But 80 degrees here in the center of the room is more than sufficient, because I'm usually working right here in this area. And 80 degrees for me to be able to walk around the shop here in slippers, a t-shirt, and some shorts when it's 27 degrees outside is a-okay with me. I might think a little bit differently when it's 15 degrees outside or 5 degrees outside, a few feet of snow. But right now I think this is going to do the job. One thing I wanted to point out is when I burnt this barrel outside, you can see that not all the paint came off. The top barrel gets hot, but it really just kind of gets hot at the top section here and around where the flange is coming up from the bottom. You can see on the door here, the bottom part of the door doesn't get nearly as hot as the top. And this, for those who haven't watched my other video, this comes off, this opens up. I did not put any rope in here. A lot of people are saying that they're putting rope inside their openings. I didn't, and I didn't really see any need to, because a lot of wood stoves I've seen, they're not sealed up that well, and no smoke comes out of there. So, sorry about that. You'll see this side as well. There's still some paint down here at the bottom. There's, right here is the section that really kind of got hot, but not even that hot. So what I'm probably going to do, I had this thing burning for a long time and it wasn't smoking inside of here. What I'm probably still going to do, just for safety concern, is get me a wire brush or one of the flapper discs for my angle grinder and come on here and take the rest of this paint off. I might actually put some Rust-Oleum high heat paint or something on there. I'm not sure. I'm not too concerned with that, to be perfectly honest, because this thing's ugly, but so is my shop. You know, if I had a really nice straightened up place here, you know, I do plan on straightening it up, but like painted walls and everything and epoxied floor, then I'd be more concerned with the way this thing looks, but I'm not. I think it kind of adds to it. Makes it look quite rustic. So, as I stated in other videos, this top flange is not bolted. There's no flange. I just cut it. I cut a circle out of there, made sure that it was as precise as possible, maybe even just a little bit smaller in certain areas. And then I took a hammer. You can see how this rolls in. I took a hammer and beat that in because the pipe wouldn't fit in there, and I just kind of started beating it around in there and trying to make the hole a little bit bigger, but where it was more of a pressure fit. So when I shoved the stovepipe in there, there's really not even any gaps. I mean, you might have a millimeter in certain areas, if that, but no smoke comes out of it at all. So, and I opted not to put any screws or anything like this to hold it in place, because one thing that you'll quickly discover when putting these stoves together is putting the chimney stack together is not easy. That top roof plate thing, whatever the hell you call that at the top, the cap, that was already in this building. I just added the chimney, the 6-inch stovepipe. I can't lower my stove to shove it up inside of that. So with me doing this, it allowed me to lower, and you can see the marks here, it allowed me to lower the stovepipe into the barrel, line it up, and then pull it back out, and then put it up into this other one. I still got to add the screws to it, but it works good. You can see I just have this here, and I opted to kind of raise it up a little bit. The kit, it's like right here on the actual flange. I've heard some complaints about that, especially with the single barrel stove. But so mine's a little bit higher. You can see here I did not put any type of ventilation on here at all. What I did was, and you'll see that extra notch there, that's my ventilation. It's about 3/4 of an inch, maybe, gap from here to here, and it works great. I got lucky with that. It actually works really, really well. So and I just close it all the way, cut this baffle off, and it'll kill that fire. So, yeah, I'm really happy with the design and layout. I mean, it could look a lot better. I'm under no delusions with that. It could look a ton better, especially with the quality of work that I'm trying to do. But it works, and it's what I expected. I didn't plan on building me a high-end stove. I just wanted to make something that worked, and worked a lot better than that. I was freezing my ass off in here and wasn't able to do things. The ottoman that you'll see in some of my other videos that I just finished up, I couldn't even paint it in the garage. It was so cold in here. And it wasn't just me, but you're not supposed to be painting in those temperatures. It was below 40 degrees in here. So, yeah, it's just, I needed to heat this place up, and this is the ticket. It works really well. I'm happy. One thing that I just did is that I put play sand in here. I just did that, so I haven't burned in here with the sand, and I did it all the way to the back. And I put the play sand in there instead of fire bricks because it's cheaper. The play sand for a 50-pound bag, and I have two 50-pound bags, but that's only one bag in there. I'm not going to put two bags. It doesn't need it, but the fire bricks are, I believe they're about $20 for a pack of 6 of them. And that's clearly not going to be enough to span from one side to the other and get you a legitimate floor inside of here. So, you know, it was pretty simple for me to make that decision. $20 or $4 for the bag of sand. So that's the route I went. A lot of other people on YouTube have decided to go that route, and nobody's ever complained about it. And it's solely there just to try to extend the life of the barrel so that you don't get burned through. When I was burning it last night, there was no sand in it, and the stove was not glowing. I've heard people say that they've had their barrels burning red hot. I think they're doing something wrong. I can't imagine that it would be too efficient with it burning red hot. It was burning very, very clean. There was very little smoke coming out of the chimney, if any at all. There was a point where I was inside and was looking out my back window to see if I could see any smoke rising, and I was really, really struggling to see any type of smoke coming out of the chimney. And there was a pretty decent fire in here, and that's what the air ventilation set up with just that door. So it works really well. I'm happy. You know, I've got no ties to any, you know, wood burn or barrel stove kit companies. I'm not trying to sell any barrel kits. If you're at all interested in building one of these things, definitely do it. If you're having issues, if you have a barrel stove and you're having issues with it warming up your shop, you're doing something wrong. And that's it. You're definitely doing something wrong. Either that or you live in the most frigid place in the world, and maybe you're only using one barrel for a shop that's too big. You know, something's going on, or you're using two barrels for a shop that's too big, but these things work, and they work well. So that's it. I just wanted to do a quick follow-up and let you guys know what kind of temperature difference we were looking at, that I was looking at, excuse me, I'm getting tongue-tied. Next video is going to be this here. This is my Craftsman. It's World War II era bandsaw. I got this thing and this wood lathe and that little wood stove over there for out the door ended up being $250 for all of them, the motors, everything, tools, everything. The tire on here on the bandsaw, I don't know how well you can see that. It's kind of dark over here. There you go. It's disintegrating. It's old rubber. It's probably the original tire that's on there. It's not even crowned anymore. I've got some urethane tires coming in. I just got the bandsaw blades because I broke my bandsaw blade trying to cut firewood with it. Probably shouldn't have done that. But I've got the bandsaw blades came in today. I should have the tires on Monday. I'm going to show a video of how to install those tires, and then follow up with showing this thing work and giving my review on the bandsaw blades themselves as well as the tires. But yeah, that's the next video. So subscribe, comment, like, share it. You know, the typical routine. Hope you guys are enjoying the videos. Talk to you later.